People often ask me where I get my inspiration for jewelry from, especially what comes first, the idea or the gemstone. Most of my jewelry designer friends work from the gemstone. They find a beautiful gem and they instantly know what they want to do with that. I work from a story first. A lot of my designs are inspired by the stories of interesting women, and then the gemstones are the very last thing I do. For instance, I have a ring and earrings inspired by Marie Antoinette, and what I wanted to do was a design with the royal colors of purple and green, and I wanted a setting that symbolized the external forces that dragged Marie Antoinette to her doom. So that's very cheerful, isn't it? So once I figured out that and designed the piece, then I got the gems all custom cut. So for the earrings, I have custom cut amethyst drops that are over 25 carats each, and on each earring there's 202 tiny, maybe 1 millimeter green garnets on each earring, and those all had to be custom cut too. I have a large number of pieces that are more about metal than gems because I feel like metal is what tells the story. A beautiful gem is a beautiful gem and you can use it to be part of the story, but you can definitely tell a long, complicated story with practically nothing but 18 karat gold. One of my favorite examples of that kind of piece is my Empress Matilda design. I have a necklace and earrings. Empress Matilda lived in the 12th century. She was the daughter of Henry I of England. She was married to another Henry, who was the Holy Roman Emperor. The Henry, who was her dad, had one legitimate son who died in the 12th century equivalent of the Titanic. It was called the White Ship, and it went down in the English Channel, and only one person survived. So that was the heir to the throne, was the son. So Matilda was Henry's only legitimate daughter, and before Henry I died, he made all his nobles swear allegiance to Matilda, that she would take over as queen after his death. They all agreed, and then they betrayed her because they didn't want to be ruled over by a woman. The nobles helped Matilda's cousin Stephen seize the throne because he was a man. And by the way, he also passed over his two older brothers, so even if you were saying that he had a right to it, the older brother should have gone first. Matilda went to war, and there was a civil war in England for nearly 20 years. The country completely fell apart, and it's known as the Anarchy, and people have also described it as the time when Christ and all his saints slept. The war went on so long that Matilda's son, who is also named Henry, of course, because there's only very few names to go around at this time, that Henry took over the war from her and reached a peace agreement with Stephen, which might not have gone through or lasted, except after all this time, Stephen died a year after the peace agreement, and Henry, Matilda's son, became the king of England. So Henry II came to the English throne in 1154. I have a lot more on Matilda, who's sometimes also known as Maud, on my blog, and you can click the link below to read that. But I'll definitely share one story about her that I love. During the time when she was waging the war against Stephen, she was trapped with her army in a castle during a blizzard, and Stephen was sure that he had her now, and she put on a white coat and sneaked away in the snow. So because Matilda fought so hard for so long and never really gave up, of course the design I did for her, as you can see, is a sword, and the earrings are sword earrings, but the necklace is really special. It pulls out of the scabbard, as you can see, and it's engraved on every surface. It's all in 18 karat gold, and it has 2 rose-cut diamonds on it and 4 small blue sapphires, and really it's the metal and the design that tells the story, and the gems are just accents. I do love a big, beautiful gem. I even love a small, beautiful gem. I love color, I love diamonds, I just love the story the most. You can click the links below this video for more on Matilda and Marie Antoinette and some of the other women who've inspired my designs. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you don't miss the next video.